Our final FAS Public Service Award goes to 2 members of Congress who have done what many consider to be nearly impossible, work together across the aisle. No comment. Not just across the aisles are, one aisle is fighting with each other. Anyway, we recognize the efforts of these 2 members on behalf of the U.S. investment in science and technology with the passage of the CHIPS and Science Act. More amazing, this bill started as a conversation in the Senate gym. Well, okay. And over the better part of 3 years, with substantial contributions from their House counterparts, ultimately became the most important science legislation in a decade, and it was a long time coming. It's critically important. Over the years, the U.S. has invented so many important things, including the things I cover, and it's really important that we continue to make these important investments in science and technology, which is critical in today's world, and continue to lead the world as a democratic country dedicated to openness and all the things that, all the best parts of the United States. So please welcome Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York and Senator Todd Young, oh, they're taking pictures back there, of Indiana. Come on up. Are they coming? Hi. I'm going to read some nice things about you. Hi, Senator. Good to see you. The senators had to overcome congressional focus on the short-term partisanship to create a bipartisan, far-reaching solution to help us with competitiveness with allies in the House. The CHIPS and Science Act became a reality. The CHIPS and Science Act strengthens the United States' ability to compete and to invest in solutions for national challenges beyond semiconductors. CHIPS and Science took concrete steps to strengthen innovation. Government plays a critical role in this, as it has stepped away over the years and is now hopefully back. It provided strategic focus for federal research and development, created investments in U.S. workers and regions, authorized boosts for science education, critically important. Please join me in congratulating Senator Schumer and Senator Young. I would hand these to you, but you might not want them. I mean, you want them, but later. Sure. Here we go.
Why not?
Okay, it's heavy. I think you might have.
Hold it up.
Go ahead.
Senator Schumer is leaving.
Okay.
If you don't mind moving in.
Ready?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kara. Now, we all know why we're here tonight. We're here tonight to announce Chris Nolan's new movie, Schumer, a biopic. Now, truly, it's a tough act to follow someone as talented as Christopher Nolan, but I'll do my best. For the record, I did see Oppenheimer before I saw Barbie. And I was a chemistry major in college, but the Vietnam War was raging, and I felt I had to do something about that, and so that was that. End of chemistry. But I really want to thank the Federation of American Scientists for this award. FAS was one of our first partners on the Endless Frontier Act and has been an invaluable ally for advancing U.S. leadership and innovation. Thanks to my colleague also in getting CHIPS and Science done, Senator Young. We worked on this bill for over 3 years. When it was called, we named it, I really named it the Endless Frontier Act, because as you know, Vannevar Bush, the Secretary of the Army at the end of World War II, said science is the endless frontier and encouraged America to invest in NSF, NIH, and other scientific parts of the government. I love that name. But when we talked about it around the country, the Endless Frontiers Act, everyone thought it was about covered wagons. So now it's CHIPS and Science. And truth be told, Chris and I actually worked this out riding the bikes in the Senate gym. When you're a 60-year-old like me panting away on the bike, you know, all these good ideas get germinated, and that's where we did it. It's so important for me to work with Senator Young because we both feel strongly about the same thing, that in the 21st century, the country that invests the most in science and advanced manufacturing will lead the way. And I believe in my core that this work must be bipartisan. For so much of America's history, our success was anchored by our unmatched commitment to investing in scientific research. The government for decades understood that scientific progress was critical to just about everything else in society, our national security, our health, our economy, our democracy. That's one of the reasons I was so struck by Director Nolan's movie Oppenheimer. It depicted precisely a moment in history where the federal government moved heaven and earth to accomplish a wartime objective that at its heart was led by scientists. Imagine if the same thing happened today for things like AI, for biotech, or food security. It is certainly within America's capacity. Passing CHIPS in science was our effort in this day and age to put innovation, science, and research back at the top of America's agenda. And Todd and I were anguished that America wasn't doing this, that investment in research went way down. Some companies did it, but you know, there's no longer Bell Labs or things like that, because we don't have these natural monopolies who were bad, but who could put their extra money into science, which a few of them did. And so we wanted to do this. It was a passion for us, because we knew that America's leading the world in industry, in research, and in so much else depended on this type of investment. So, over a year later, after we talked about it, and after the bill passed, the CHIPS and science benefits are undeniable. Hundreds of billions invested in proposed investment for semiconductor, new investments for STEM training at universities, and jobs, jobs, jobs for years to come. And these are good paying jobs, and these are jobs with a future. So when a parent sees her son or daughter getting one of these jobs, they know they have a great future. It's not going to be phased out in a few years. One of the things I'm proudest of in CHIPS and science, which Senator Young and I champion in Endless Frontier, are the new tech hubs across the country, which the administration rolled out last month. In the 21st century, it can't just be a few places like Silicon Valley, Boston, Austin, New York, that power the nation's innovation economy. We need cities, smaller cities, that have a lot of research potential. Cities in New York State like Rochester and Buffalo and Syracuse, cities like Indianapolis, South Bend, and Fort Wayne in Indiana, and so many others. Even though it's a red state, it's a nice state. To become tomorrow's havens for innovation and tech. These were the communities we had in mind when we wrote the Tech Hubs part of CHIPS and Science. And just like CHIPS and Science, AI is another topic I'm hard at work at with Senator Young. We're two members of the Senate's bipartisan AI gang, and it's our goal to move the Senate's machinery towards AI legislation through AI Insight forums, Senate briefings, and more. AI is going to be the defining technology in the years to come. It's one of my top priorities as Majority Leader for the Senate to respond to AI's changes with common sense guardrails so we can maximize its benefits while minimizing its risks. It's certainly not going to be easy. This is going to be one of the hardest tasks we undertake because AI is so complicated, it's so all-encompassing, and it's changing so rapidly. But as Theodore Roosevelt said, we are in the arena. And if we don't do it, and if the federal government doesn't step in with some guardrails, good, smart guardrails, as I said, that don't discourage but encourage innovation, our North Star, but at the same time prevent the bad things from happening, nobody will. And AI could actually go off the rails. So we're going to keep at it. The same kind of bipartisan partnership and passion that we had to produce CHIPS and Science is now going into AI, and we know how important it is. So I want to thank Senator Young for his partnership over the years. I want to thank Director Nolan, Dr. Richmond, and all of you for being here. It's an immense honor. It really means a lot to receive this award tonight. Thank you.